Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to EMS 1 Winter Championship for Battlefield 4. We have had just about everything already today. It's unbelievable. We've had great matches, we've had rough plays, we've had great plays, and we've even had a little bit of controversy as well. Jason, I don't want to linger on it too much, but let's just clear it up. Server shuts down. Fnatic are 43 tickets up from the first half. They are asked if they would mind forfeiting that 43 ticket lead and restarting the map entirely. They take a vote, they say no. Perfectly reasonable response. And Epsilon decide that actually they don't want to play the game anymore, even though they have to stop them being a forfeit. So they literally just go in game, buy rubbishy weapons, and obviously don't play properly. Sad ending to the game overall. I can see both sides. It's very easy to understand why they were so frustrated. It's happened to them before in DreamHack and against Fnatic as well, so it must be really doubly insulting for them. But there's not really much that we can do about it. So I guess what I'm saying is it's probably time we move on.
Well, there is one thing, though, that happened about that. We learned that you can destroy the statue's head with a sniper rifle. That is one thing we did learn from all that, so we can be happy about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame it happened. But now Epsilon need to look to the next game. All right, MeetYourMakers, ESC. We need to play against a loser. We need to focus up. Yes, that happened, but if we don't want to get knocked out, we need to come together as a team. We need to bring it because it's an important match.
Absolutely. Right, let's confirm to you these scores from our first game via the bracket, which looks like this. And as you can see, Fnatic will advance on to the Group B winners game, and they will play either ESC or MeetYourMakers, which is our next game. Let's talk about this match. ESC and MYM, two very borderline teams, shall we say, in terms of potentially able to win this tournament. And many people will laugh at that and say, no way, Fnatic have got this, or, you know, they're too far ahead. But genuinely, these two teams, and Dogbert believes that MYM are the dark horse for the whole thing, purely because they have been playing very well in practice recently.
I had a question about that earlier. I was asking, why is it a dark horse? Because I don't understand the reference being an American, but I think you're right. MeetYourMakers, they proved back when we started this whole thing up in the Cups and the Gopher Series that they're a very strong team. They've been together for such a long time. They've played many other games together. But the thing was, they've been decaying over time. They've been slowly doing worse and worse and worse throughout every Cup. That right now, over this past couple of weeks that they've had, realizing when they qualified to really practice, it's pretty much up to them to show up here. And their opponent's ESC. They're a team that
Well, before you go into that, let's bring ESC's lineup up so that you can actually see it, and you can carry on talking about ESC as you go through there. There is the lineup right now for ESC, and you were saying.
Yeah, and ESC, the thing about them that's so weird is that they're an underdog. They're just like kind of Pyrogen a little bit. They have the ability to shock everyone. Pyrogen, though, they had better results, throughout the later part of the stages. But between ESC and Pyrogen alone, they have gone back and forth in the Cups many, many times. And ESC's won a couple, Pyrogen's won a couple. So there's definitely a lot of chance for them to come back into this. And they even beat Against All Authority to pretty much qualify into here through cut number 4, I believe it was.
Yeah, which was very, very impressive indeed. Got a couple of facts about the ESC Icy Box boys as well. As you've already said, inconsistent during the regular season. The best result they had was semi-final in Cup number 3, but they have beat MYM in Cup 3 and AAA in the group stages. But as we've already said, they remain massive underdogs in this group. But that doesn't mean that we rule them out, as we've said. The term dark horse is used for teams and players that you might write off, but actually, quietly, they might have been playing very well in the background.
I think the dark horse isn't necessarily ESC. I think it might be Delarco. Because he was brought up into the team.
I absolutely, but I think you are definitely a Delarco fanboy.
It's not that I'm a fanboy. It's just the fact that I saw him playing with UMAV, and his style was really unique compared to everyone else. I think Horik was the only one that really kind of compared to him, but he would always run this floater roll, and it would always catch teams off guard, and it really kept UMAV into the mix. Obviously they were forever second, but to consistently get second is very difficult.
Okay.
So him coming to the team, I mean, if I want to at least mention UMAV earlier, with Drunks coming into the team, completely changed their style, him and Inox. And I wonder if Delarco changed things up a little bit, because ESC, they've always had the potential, they just never had that breakout moment.
Okay, home soil for them as well in Germany. They go head-to-head with the European mix of MYM. MeetYourMakers, a team that have been around for a very long time. They look like this. Line up with Flakes, Punch Raw, SNF, Waffy, and Ducky Chan. One of my favourite names of any player in any game. Ducky Chan is definitely one of my favourites. We've also got a couple of facts about these guys as well. They're runners-up in Cup 1, but haven't reached the final since. And as you said earlier on, they've very much decayed as they've gone on. But they're playing well right now lately. Dogbert feels that they're probably playing the best of all the teams other than Fnatic in practice and in cups recently as well. So they've got a little bit of form. And that is what he believes makes them the dark horse for the tournament. They're certainly favourites against ESC, although if you disagree with that, please do let us know via the website right now. You can go to it's battlefield-ems1.com and you can tell us your prediction. Keep them coming, by the way. There's still a few of you out there who've got 100% records and you're still in line to win the super duper prizes, which I haven't, by the way, stolen and put in my car just yet, but they might disappear over time. They might disappear. You may see some magic
There's only
tricks.
4 prizes we're giving away, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We aren't giving away any book underneath Jason's jacket.
That's just my muscle.
So, you
been
wish.
working out.
Prediction time for you. Help the people out there come up with a winner. Is it falling out? I think this is the most difficult one too. I know we said earlier on the Dignitas game was tricky.
Right.
The Epsilon Fnatic game was tricky. But for me, this one really is quite tricky. Where's it going?
You know, even with Dogbert saying MeetYourMakers have looked really on form lately, I'm going to go with ESC.
Interesting.
Not just because Delarco's on it. Not just because of that.
Of course not.
The thing is, if you look at both teams, like I said before, MeetYourMakers reached the semis in Cup 1, but they've been on a steady decline since. ESC, they've been consistently getting better. And I think they have a lot to prove here, and I think that gives them a little bit of extra drive.
Okay, thank you very much, Jason. It's time to go over to the commentators. Let's find out who they think will take match number 2 in Group B. Boys, it's over to you.
Someone's not happy about that prediction. That's all I'm going to say about that. The look on your face there was one of disbelief, I think is fair to say.
Yeah, I don't like my pigs challenged. Jason's totally wrong.
Of course, I mean...
every way.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell he's been working out as well, / stealing prizes. But that's neither here nor there. In terms of your prediction for this next game, what are you saying?
I see what the maps are, but if I had to go out on a limb here, and give my opinion, which I'm going to anyway, don't worry. I just kind of try to sound modest as possible. But MYM, I think MYM 2-0 here.
Really?
If anything, a 2-1, but they will win without a shadow of a doubt, I think. Even with Delarco, who is a very good player, and everyone in ESC's kind of they've been around in Battlefield for quite a while, all Dacer team, I believe, and they've been around. But the MYM lineup is probably just behind Dignitas in how long it's been together. In fact, MYM, their full lineup here have been playing together for so long now. Back in BF3, they were a 3-bit. They're actually one of the teams I was looking at when I was scouting teams for Dig. I was just like,
really?
Right. Yeah, it was one of the teams, and there were 4, and one of them completely dropped out, and 3 of which are here, and all of which going ahead. So these guys are good, and just a few little point out here. Ducky Chan, well, first of all, like Paul said, great name, yeah. Flax, who I've watched recently in a cup, and he managed to go absolutely crazy. He was defending A flagged on Locker, and he managed to kill everyone that was sent at him. 4-man UMAV, took him out, no problem. Pistol, 2 of them, yeah, easy. He was brilliant.
Love it.
But then you got like Safe, who... nice guy, met him yesterday, just really, really solid. And then you've got Waffy, who's the only UK player.
Yeah, you just said that to me. That blows my mind. I would have thought we would have had more UK players coming through, but now you can see the vetoes. Parcel Storm has gone already. Are there any, I'm going to quickly ask you before we see them, any maps that you think now will be banned between these two?
Parasol Storm, I'm not surprised that's banned. I think that was ESC banning that out. MYM have played very good on that in the past. I'm not surprised to see Locker being taken out as well. MYM have been doing very, very good on that recently. And Shanghai, interesting one, but that's been banned out by MYM, and that's because they've been struggling on this map quite a lot recently. Played against UMAP, and it didn't go well at all. And Goldman Railway, another one, MYM's kind of like circled the wagons. They've done some good work on it, but never that great. First map, ESC going with Dam. Interesting one. All those maps really are going to be quite close ones, I think, but I still think the ball is going to be in MYM's court for the majority of this, as this guy is...
just looked a little bit lost for a moment there.
Where am I?
It's absolutely fine. He's on stream. No big deal there. No big deal. So you've seen the maps now. You're still going to stand with your 2-0 prediction?
Yeah, I'm completely confident in these guys.
I like it.
If they're not, I'll come after this guy here, Waffy. I've kind of been He's playing in the UK national team, which he's just one of the top players. Yeah, he's a bit nervous, first time travelling out of the country, I guess.
How do you think that's going to affect him?
I'm joking. He's been to
Damn it!
DreamHack
I really wanted him to beat. Oh, if that was true.
Yeah, no.
That would have been epic. That would have been.
He just looks nervous in
He
general.
actually did look pretty nervous. That's why I thought for a minute that you were
the
being
camera
serious.
out my face. I'm a bit worried. It's just like, don't quit
please.
talking about me. He's already said he's going to say horrible things.
Oh.
No, I didn't really.
You evil person.
I'm very nice to other UK
No,
people.
that's well, yeah.
Well, as you can see on the ESC guys here, they have a Swede, they've got a Dane, they've got a German, and 2 Germans, and I think that's another Dane over there.
I want to ask you then. Obviously, you play yourself. How is that? Have you ever been in a part of a team quite as multicultural, I guess, as that? If so, how does communication? How's that going to affect them? I mean, think about all those different languages flying around. I know when a lot of people from all through esports, whenever they get annoyed, they tend to revert to their native tongue. Is that going to be the case? Or?
Yeah, well, my example was that I played Battlefield 2 with Odie and the European team in BF2, and they were all they all spoke like English, but they were Swedes, Danes, and all that. And then we picked up a German team in BF2, and they just spoke German. And then we merged the 2 teams, and me and another UK guy forced them to speak English, and it was beautiful.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Forcing Germans to speak English.
Don't worry, we're not actually live because ESC are still waiting on 3 people. I got ready. I was like, oh yeah.
I saw the countdown. I got all excited. I was like, yes, watch some Battlefield, but it wasn't to be. Sadly, but yeah, I mean, I've always wondered that. You look at some of the teams with, many different nationalities in them, and I've often wondered to myself, how is that going to affect you with the call-outs and tactics and languages? But it's good to know that.
I think it makes you better. I think it makes you better because if you speak in your home tongue, you have a nasty habit. Usually, people bring habits with them of saying things that really they shouldn't. And if you're obviously there's obviously going to be a bit of a hurdle, especially for when English isn't someone's native language. So they have to think a bit more. But in most cases, it keeps the chatter on TeamSpeaks and so on much like crisp and clear and not so diluted. And I think European teams, Fnatic, Epsilon, I think there's only 2 teams in this tournament, 3 teams, Pyrogen, PKD and Dignitas, who are all of the same tongue. Everyone else is European. And I think that's actually a strength in a lot of cases, not just because you're forcing a kind of strict one language rule, but more importantly, you can pick up players from other teams.
Yeah.
Which is something that can't be done with, like, say, the French team or Dignitas. They are very much stuck to Finnish players. Yeah. They could, but they would much rather stick to their home tongue.
They definitely struggle. And we actually saw the voting from everyone at home, and 81% in favor of MYM. You're sat there with a smug old grin on your face. The people, they're agreeing with you. Curious to see what Kaplan's face looks like round about now after that percentage. I'm sure he's not
as long as
smiley.
As long as like MYM don't get blown out of the water and then he comes in.
He comes in with a sign. Yeah, I was right, you were wrong. That would be.
He would lord it over me for a long time.
Absolutely.
And I like the ESC guys, and I've commented on a lot of their games, and more importantly, Delarco's just a nice guy. I really like him. He's a character, and BF needs more people like that, I believe. And they're just really bunch of nice guys. But
you just can't see them winning?
I can see them winning.
That's
I
not what you said before. You said they were going to lose 2-0.
I don't think it's likely. Yeah, they are going to lose 2-0.
So then you can't see them winning.
I know it is happening. See in the future, I know how these things will play.
I like how you're just trying to curve basically what you're saying into a more, friendly way.
I'm trying to be friendly to some people who might talk to me later. I'm being nice to those guys.
There's only 19% of those people. 19%
of those people, and a lot of them are here already. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those players probably voted for themselves. I know how they are.
I would.
Yeah, I know I would. Got to keep it going.
Right? Keep the support up. Keep the support up on social media. But you can see the players now just getting ready, doing some last adjustments. I think everybody is in the server bar. One player. In fact, just as I say that, everyone joined. So hopefully we'll be getting underway. But in terms of your players to watch from both teams, I mean, who is it really that you're looking for to give those standout performances?
Well, I'm going to go with Delarco and Kazam is one of these players I've been watching quite a bit. He does seem to get himself into very interesting positions and really is one of the more important players, I feel, in the ESC. Over on MYM, that can go like all over the place, but right now I think I'll stick with Punch Rule. Very top fragger for them, but geez, MYM just chip in sometimes. They're just one of those teams that work as a unit, and that's why I think that they'll have great success, because they're never relying on one person alone.
I think that's always key when you can do that, when you can afford to have everyone sort of doing different roles and covering for each other. It seems the teams that can afford to do that are the teams that we're seeing have good success so far here. But it looks like the game is just about to get underway. We're on a countdown now. So you said 2-0. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna agree with you.
Oh, that's not a limb. Right. That's an educated opinion from a
You've been right.
Just like, oh, yeah,
you've been right every single time. So I'm not gonna.
Well, not every single time. It was 2-1 for Power.
Well, I mean, you got the team winning, right? So I'm gonna have to go with you on that. It's impressive, Sometimes people get them wrong, and you've been getting it right. But the game about to get underway. And what are you looking for off the break?
Usually the mad rush to B is an important one, but every so often around the middle statue, some teams will send either a single man or two to try and get round to that A or C flag and just harass. But you can see already that MYM have not even bothered to send a single person to either hold or harass at all. They're going all for B.
Yeah, 4-man straight to B, not wasting any time. And Delarco, who actually went outside for ESC, expecting someone to rush, kind of left with nothing to do there as he has to rotate. But you can see the quick start there coming in from MYM. They have both B and C under their control, but B is being contested. Just as I say that, the play does get taken off that flag. So a nice start to MYM.
Yeah, it's good, but they lost a lot of people in that. And to be honest, this fight for B is still not over. And a lot of these kills are coming in for ESC. This is far from over. This B flag fight is going to continue, I believe. And more importantly, it could spill over onto that C flag. And MYM are just going to look for a CB hold continuously here. And this fight is just going to continue.
Well, B flag is neutral, so the fight, as you said, continuing on. I'm having a look at Janssen right now, who has that gunfight in front of him. He's going to get taken down, and 4 players for EFC do go down, leaving Explo by himself. Luckily, though, does have some players off the respawn. And where is Explo actually heading? It looks like he's gone back towards that B flag, which still under MYM control. They managed to hold that throughout all of those kills going down around, so that was very impressive to see. And they have that early ticket advantage, 143 to 127.
Yeah, and like I said, MYM love to just have the fight continue around this B flag, and that's what they're aiming for here. They're not trying anything special, but here's where they could have trouble. Delarco doing his standard role of harassing open flags, one-on-one with him and Safe. 2 guys who get on very, very well. And this is a do or die for them. They need to make sure they hold this flag, but you can already see MYM making the move to A because they knew that they'd cleared out everything else.
Yeah, nice push there from Delarco. Was able to give them that flag, so that was going to give them A and C. But as you said, that rotation towards A has occurred. And who is that? It's actually going to be Punch Roll, who dived onto that A flag as soon as he recognized C was going away. However, B is being taken as well. I believe it's actually Ducky-chan now who's just going to try and contest that if he possibly can. It's going to be neutral for now, so Ducky-chan has some work to do.
Yeah, and Expo just dropped down from the rafters and getting a kill, but these are still coming in for MYM. And right now, even though this fight is just switched over flag-wise to ESC, 2 of their guys go down. They've only got Delarco left on this flag, and if he gets taken out as well, it's going to be a really difficult time for them to get back into this one. And he's just trying his best, but he knows he's a marked man, and he's just trying to get the spawns on him as quick as possible.
Still ESC doing the smart thing, rotating out towards the C flag, so MYM just with B for now. Big fight still at that B flag. Delarco did very well just to hold on to that for as long as he possibly could before finally getting taken out. Meanwhile, Safe, he's going to get taken out. Ducky-chan off to a great start, 6-3. And he's also trying to cap that C flag, but in hindsight, because of that, they are now in fact losing B.
Yeah, and this is the chance for ESC to actually do something. They've managed to bring the tickets back. I mean, the fight over B, even though a lot of it was going MYM's way, they weren't getting the flag, so the bleed was constantly against them. And right now, this game has leveled up, even though it has been majority of MYM in control.
Especially, you look at the kills, 27 for MYM, it's 17 for ESC. And it's a 10-ticket game. I mean, they've done very well to stay in contention in terms of tickets, considering the outslayment which is currently happening. And, you have to think if it carries on this way, MYM, they're only going to continue to outslay you. As I think someone needs to really shut down Ducky-chan. 8-3, just seems to be continuously picking up those kills when it matters most. And MYM, with that BC combination as well, going to try and continue the bleed.
Yeah, even though I've been talking on and on about MYM, the fight over B was never really decisive.
Yeah.
It kept going on, and more importantly, but that is decisive. That's everyone from ESC around the B flag except from one, and he drops as well. This is exactly what MYM want. They want the fight to happen around B as long as they got the flag and as long as they've got the bleed, and it's going all MYM's way right now. And ESC are just doing nothing except from battering their heads against a brick wall right now.
I mean, you can see where they spawned all the way back A, so not really any position to contest that B flag. They need to just try and get those kills around the flag before they jump on it. And MYM just doing such a good job slaying. I mean, Explode just walked in there trying to cause a bit of a ruckus. He got shut down immediately. Now Janssen, well, he's gotten several nades being thrown. He throws one back, drops that medipack. Can he get some health back? Yes, he can. Nade of his own. But still, I mean, you know, they're not able to shut MYM down off that B flag. So now, do you reckon this is the right time to try and rotate to C and try and make some plays there? Because B just doesn't seem to be working.
They need to open the game up. They're going head-to-head without the flag. They're trying to get picks, but there's no point in getting the picks because by the time you even get in there to clean up what you've just started, the respawns come in on the next guy.
Yep.
And they've managed to get a few of those kills now, but this might be too little too late. Just look at how many tickets have been taken off the board already.
A lot.
Yeah, and this is only going to get worse. MYM are doing a very good job. They might have just lost control of this flag for a bit, but look how many of their guys are in there, and look where all the deaths are coming in.
Yeah, Delarco, he managed to cap that, and then on his screen he saw 3 MYM players charging towards him, so that flag should go back under MYM control. Kazam, he's going to be in there trying to do some defensive work, and not going to happen. He is taken down, and that seems to be the consistent story so far. ESC always having several people down at one point, whereas MYM, they just don't seem to be having that problem.
Yeah, but the big moment of the game might have come. It's going to secure this round. Ducky-chan goes out to A, single man. There was no defender because ESC have been constantly on the attack. They're not used to the idea of leaving anyone in defense because they're in such a desperation right now to stop this bleed. And what has happened because of that? Ducky-chan gets a kill outside of A and takes the flag, and that's a full domination cap. And MYM are steaming to a very, very convincing win on this round.
They really are, as Kazam goes up those stairs, trying to bait out, see if Ducky-chan's somewhere around. Doesn't look like he is, though. So they are going to be able to neutralize that flag and get it back under their control, but damage definitely has been done. I mean, you look at that lead, 106 to 27. You're looking at it and you're thinking, is there really any way back for ESC on the second half?
Yeah, I mean, let alone that. I've just seen Waffy kill 2 people in the men's room on the B flag. He just murdered them, and they tried to get in there, throw a med pack down, didn't stop anything. Waffy just shot them. And right now, you can just look at this. You can see that ESC are just paralyzed. They know that MYM are defending these buildings, and at no point have they tried to switch to C. They're constantly hitting the same flag over and over again, and they've only got 12 tickets remaining.
Yeah, it just has not worked for them. As Delarco trying to make something happen right at the very end. Jumps on the B flag, but you can see the response immediately from MYM. They're like, all right, you're taking B. Well,
yeah,
we're just going to rotate to A. And that's currently neutral and should go in the favor of MYM. So although fair play, you know, Delarco managed to cap that B flag, in turn, they lost the A flag.
Yeah, Lagza, though, is the only person right now that matters. If he can, he's just wiped out everyone from MYM at the A flag. One by one, he just wiped out 4 of the MYM defenders, and more importantly, starting to take away tickets. This is going to be a full domination cap for ESC, and this is what they need because they've been so far behind the whole time. Now they can chip away what would have been an insurmountable odds to get through the next round. It would have been too much, but right now, there's a full domination cap and defenders.
Yeah, this is looking good for ESC. Don't think they're going to be able to come back on this, but as you said, they're going to chip away at that lead. It was massive, and it is being reduced. MYM desperately trying to cap that A flag. Let's have a look, see if that is going to go. It is going to go. You can see those 3 players now diving towards a B flag. Someone is on it already. So this could be over relatively soon. Still a 79 ticket advantage. It is held just for now, but still being contested. And, you know, Kazam right now, he needs to go big for the team.
Yeah, Kazam is the one man left in the game. There's no one else for ESC. None of them can spawn in, and if he dies, it's over. But you can already see MYM are just on the flag already, just trying to finish it off. And I don't see exactly what he thinks he's going to be able to do here. But he's still getting kills.
He's going to have to go. Oh, the second player right in front of him.
But what could that be? That could have been 100 tickets.
That's true.
To 0, and it just became 72. Now, that's not ideal in any way at all in a 150 ticket game. But they did a great job at the end then. MYM got greedy.
completely agree.
They really expected they could just walk through that, and yeah,
well,
they came part of it.
at times they kind of were, and as you so rightfully pointed out, the game-changing moment, Ducky Chan rotated to A, unchallenged, 1-1 gunfight. Next thing you know, you got a trip cap which lasted for at least 30 seconds. Then you have ESC in a horrible position where they just can't get any of those flags back. So you are right, you know, they had a potentially 100 ticket lead. Now it's been reduced to 72. But then I say, you know, they have a 72 ticket lead, and you kind of sat there going, yeah, that's pretty big. Not gonna lie, in a 150 ticket game.
But it all came down to the fact that their defense on the B flag was so solid. Yeah. But it basically made ESC completely reckless. They had no choice. They couldn't leave a defender.
I'm surprised they didn't rotate towards C, though. Every time.
They're getting spotted. There's a man in the C flag constantly spotting. So if anything comes on their left side through the open corridor, that is spotted. If anything comes round, anyone in B is going to see it. But yeah, they should have definitely rotated. Should have relied a bit more on the randomized spawn instead of what they did. And they hit a brick wall in MYM.
They really did. MYM looking very strong in the first half. A pretty big lead, I'm going to say. It's not the biggest we've seen. Today, we saw. I think the start of the day. What was it? 115 ticket lead in favor of UMAV over Planet Key. That was pretty impressive to say the least. But still, a 72 ticket lead, pretty high. Can you see any way for ESC back into this?
They have to play pretty perfect here, but they need to get that B and they need to get that C straight off the bat and just hold it. And they can do it. I mean. But it's all down MYM, and I've watched MYM on this map a lot, and they do some things which I love. Like you were talking about how the fact they couldn't get that B flag. What they'll do is they'll go around B. They'll go the long way around. They will make you think they're going to go for B. Then they swap, make you think they're going for C, bait those spawns, and then go straight back for B.
The old bait and switch.
Yeah,
I like
they're
it.
good at it. They're very, very good at it.
I like it a lot, and you can see off the break, no one from ESC covering the middle. Everyone pretty much flooding that B flag for now, so expect a lot of gunfights over at that B flag, and I'm looking at punch roll off the back for MYM to see, well, they already cap B, it's just currently being contested. So MYM off to another fantastic start, as we saw last time. It has been made neutral though, so ESC not giving anything up, but nice plays from punch roll as he picks up that frag. Yeah, punch roll securing, and now they forced out ESC basically into the position they just had last game, which is they're outside the flag. They're not inside, they're not able to threat, but they are starting to get some kills, and they know that there's nothing really they can do here. They might as well just throw it all in and see what happens, because they're not going to be able to play this as a very cautious game. Well, 72 ticket lead, as I said, is currently in favor of MYM. They've only lost 1 ticket so far, with just over a minute played. So playing pretty immaculately for now, I think it's fair to say. And just got, as you said, pretty much deja vu of what we saw that entire first half. MYM just playing inside, covering that B flag. Not really much ESC can really do. Both A and B now being taken by the opposite team, so we're still going to see a 2-1 flag lead advantage, I would have thought. But actually, no. It's actually going to switch to ESC for the first time.
Yeah, there was a big spawn behind A, and Safe was the only defender, and he was too busy paying attention to the B flag. ESC trying to hold on to the CA, which is fine, but as soon as anyone dies, it's gone. It's a lost cause. So what they need to do here is delay as much as they can at C and then rotate for that B. They need to get that B flag quickly. They can do a CB, they can do an AB, but they can't do an AC. It's just not possible.
Yeah, it really is very tough as Ducky Chan trying to make some plays over at C, pulls out the pistol, picks up one, has to reload though, has the support of his teammate. He's going to find absolutely everybody there, and more assists come down. Nice play, and MYM have just destroyed everybody of ESC. 5 players go down. They're just sat there saying, no, this is our flag. What are you doing? This is ours.
At this point, ESC probably are not going to be able to make it back. That is a devastating blow. And it came across the board. Came at A, it came at B, and it happened to C as well. And at C, they were investing way too much. They should have known that was a lost cause. They should use that time to get the spawns over on A and rush that B flag. Instead, they committed to a flag which was lost, and they paid the price. And you can already see ESC taking the time to go around, and this is something they should have done in the previous round, and they just do not have the time to do it now.
No, they really don't. That trip cap's in as punch roll just slaying around the outside of that A flag. Bring up your overhead view and you can see 2 players now from ESC. You got Delaco and you have Kazam pushing the C flag. It's going to be 1 defender there. It's actually going to be Flax. Let's have a look, see if he can try and make some magic happen. C is being taken away from him. He's going to pick up those stairs. There's one. Oh, has him dangerously weak. Not going to pick it up. Decides to back off as well because he recognizes he doesn't even need to make the kill.
He doesn't need to, because Ducky Chan was using the brilliant coordination that this team has to finish off what Flax started. And that has just been pretty much the tale of this matchup. Superior teamwork from MYM, constantly backing each other up, and they have not been losing any of these big team fights. And otherwise, ESC have been trying their best, but they're just not able to keep up at all.
Well, with just under 4 minutes, that is game number 1, or map number 1, I should say, going in favor of MYM, and that just shows you how. Look at it, sat there. Oh yeah, that was pretty easy.
Look at that. Look at
those cheeky smiles. Everyone's smiling around. They're enjoying it. That's what I like to see. I don't think we've had a quicker second round either.
No, and that's something to do with DAM in general. And it's why, for a lot of teams, they ban it out, well, except from when they don't listen to me. And it's definitely a dangerous one, because if you can't get that initial capture on that B flag, you are stuck.
Except for when they don't listen to me. That's priceless.
I'm having a cheap shot at the dick guys, but I think they went back to the hotel, so they won't even hear about that. It's a flag that can really be painful. And even though ESC are a top team, made themselves to the final, MYM made them look bad. And that's just this map.
Well, do you reckon it is just this map, or do you reckon we're going to see a similar thing again?
If you get the hold on that B and you've got a back flag like that,
but then
it's very easy to hold.
You have to ask yourself, though, MYM had that every single time we looked at the overhead. They had that control at B, and that's can't just be fluke, if that makes sense. I mean, if ESC had that, do you reckon they would have been able to hold it for as long, or is that MYM skill coming through?
Well, they did lose some of the fights at B, but they managed to keep coming back into the flag, jumping off from their back flags, and they just kept the pressure. While ESC, even though they took the flag, was starting to already think of another one.
Yeah.
And so they were really caught on the hop a lot of the time. And it's I'm not surprised. MYM played UMAV on DAM very recently, and really, MYM threw them up. They had it won. They were winning by a lot, and they kind of collapsed, and UMAV took it from
imploded.
I mean, UMAV and MYM are like two teams that have just been like neck and neck for so long right now. So if they ended up playing each other, it's going to be like a barn burner. It's going to be amazing. it'll be one of the games I would like to see. And I have no doubt MYM will progress here, but we don't know. ESC need to do, and this is the map to do it. This is a map where even though kills are prizes and very important, it still is one of these maps where good rotations and just good teamwork can prevail.
Okay, interesting stuff. And you know, after one of the quickest games I think we've seen all day, I'm curious to see if MYM can carry on that momentum, because they're looking very chillaxed. I think, you know, just everyone feeling good, and we saw that at the very start of the day, and it kind of backfired somewhat. Maybe getting a little bit too relaxed. That's a position you never really want to be in, especially in a tournament like this. You want to make sure that the pedal is on the metal all the time. You want to make sure you have that momentum all throughout the day and in every game you play. So realistically, I'm looking now for MYM to just try and close this out in emphatic fashion as well. But don't write ESC off just yet.
Oh, I will never write off ESC. They are a top team. As much as I am constantly talking about MYM, ESC are very dangerous, and they've surprised teams already. And if MYM take them for granted, they will suffer a loss. And this is the kind of map where that kind of thing can happen. So, off the break, this is the things that are what in God's name.
Yeah, did you see that as well? Players, I just want to show that real quick, actually. Players, oh, yeah, you can see. Yeah, there we go. Spawning on top of each other.
You go to Safe here, running the engineer kit. I believe we are live. And he's going to use that straight off the bat to knock a hole into the wall at C, and there it goes down. And that is opening up that C flag now. And this is where it becomes an interesting one, because MYM want that C flag early on. They know that A is under pressure, but they've already got that C flag. No team went for B. That's very unusual, completely different to most tactics. But it doesn't matter for MYM because it's paid off. They've got the C flag, and now they can rotate to B whenever they want it. And they're just keeping ESC busy at A. They've got one guy there, but no one's trying to cap.
Well, Punchrool has decided, hey, that B flag hasn't been capped. I may as well mooch on over there and see if I can get it. He's going to be in charge of that. He's going to get it as well. However, they've kind of paid the price for that, because ESC, as Punchrool rotated, just jumped on A and jumped on C and managed to get those two flags back almost instantly.
Yeah, but Safe's been holding back that C flag for a while. He might not have it under control, but he's definitely jumping off point to anyone else. And he's managed to get quite a few kills already. He's going to come across, but that is a 3-man spawn from ESC there, fighting MYM with just pure numbers here. But this fight, Ducky Chan over at the C flag now. Him and his team need to get good spawners on this flag, and they need to push it because they are not threatening A at all soon.
No, they really aren't, as Ducky Chan managed to pick off one. With a couple of grenades being thrown, needed to back off, just play things a little safe, throws a nade of his own. Now you see Flax in front of him being a little bit aggressive, but he looks to his left. And he's going to see people pushing that B flag. Doesn't want to give that up, doesn't want the trip cap to occur, so Ducky Chan is going to have to rotate. He's going to see two now. Isn't able to pick up those kills though, and is going to lose control of that flag.
Yeah, MYM switching up already to the A flag. You can see Punchroll going up. He's got two-man defense. I don't think he even knows about it.
He's just running into a trap. Bless him. Look at him. There he is, in a sandwich between two players. Oh, this is going to end very badly in about 5 seconds' time. Or is it? Yep, there you go. See, I called it. I'm a guru myself. I'm a guru myself.
But over at B, it's going completely wrong. I mean, you've got Kazam by himself, and he's bringing in reinforcements and Jansen. And the Flag's got the kill, but this is where spawns start coming in. Every time you get kills like that, it just means extra guys start turning up. And that one man can suddenly become like 3. And that's
just
literally what's
multiplies
just
in
happened
front
at
of your
B
eyes.
here. What was just a one man is now Jansen and a corpse. This is where it gets awkward, because look at it right now. Over at A, it's a 1v1, and everything else at C is basically MYM territory. And if they complete this, and they do, that's a full cap, and Waffy and Co are holding that C flag right now.
That C flag being held very, very well. And I'm going to have a look at Waffy and see exactly what he's up to. Currently 5-3, so off to a very nice start. The trip cap was in play, however, A being taken away from them, and MYM, not the biggest lead, or nowhere near as big as the lead from last game at least, but are in the lead nevertheless.
Yeah, this game's been really back and forth, and I think the tactics MYM threw out there at the beginning kind of backfired because they lost C quite early on.
Yes.
Even though they put a lot of effort into capturing it, they started to go back to A. They never really took B quick enough.
I'm surprised no one went for B. That's something I've never seen.
Everyone's calling each other's bluff now. It's just like, I'm just going to try and overrun them. I'm going to go for A. I'm going to do this. And Waffy holding the C flag here, and there's only Lagza left at the C flag, and ESC are starting to struggle. They're waiting for more spawns on C. As you can see, more are coming in. It's a two-man spawn, that two-man push over at B as well. But all of these are getting frustrated across the board, and it's looking really good for MYM.
Yeah, Waffy just being so patient there. Picked up one, saw Safe die in front of him though, so he's going to have to just look. Challenging with a pistol there, or thinking about it at least, but goes for the revive. Nicely done. And that lead really starting to build now, 114-81. B is being contested. And Waffy, no position really to do anything about that. Let's have a look at the overhead, see if anyone is. You've got Flax and Ducky Chan both charging in towards that B flag. Both going to get taken down. Now it's down to Safe all by himself. Is he just going to play the patient game?
I think he's going to wait for a few spawns here, get an easy kill if he can, but the spawns have actually come on over at A. They think that flag's wide open, and that's a two-man push. But there'll be, I'm sure another spawn will probably come on Safe unless he gets killed here. And right now, no one's even challenging C. I think ESC are probably going to give up A and go back to C, but looks like no, they're not. They're going to try and hold the A flag as well. It's very unusual.
Yeah, you can see two players there trying to contest. They have lost the flag, but I'm still curious to Safe. He's played so passively, and he's played the waiting game perfectly. If he picks up that kill, which he has done, fantastic play from him. He can jump on that B flag, and this is going to be a trade, B for A. And you have to give MYM credit there, especially Safe, who just played that perfectly. However, they are going to lose the C flag as well. So overall, probably not worth. However, yeah, they did. They in fact lost that B flag. So sorry, C flag. So ESC with the AC combination, trying to make a little bit of a comeback now.
Yeah, MYM really not performing quite as well as they should on this map, I feel, and ESC are taking full advantage of it. Lags are 9 for 2, doing a great job at the moment, and really pinning down MYM. I think MYM need to stick to more of the BC, and instead of challenging the A flag. Delarco's amazingly good on that flag, and I think they should really just give it up and keep this CB, because this is the more important one. And right now, they're in the perfect position to defend it. Punchroll is going to come up with a few people coming up soon. And that is just a big push, and the only one ESC can do right now.
Well, looking at ESC, Kazam just thinking about making some plays. Explode, Laxer as well. Is he going to jump on the flag? Not going to happen though. Runs straight into towards Safe. He gets one of the easiest kills of his career, most probably. Explode jumps in, picks up the revive. And also, the C flag has it neutral. Gonna go ahead and cap that. Nicely done from ESC.
Yeah, ESC attacked from 3 different angles and really just picked apart the MY defender. Brilliant job from them. And at this point, if Jansen here can pick up his kills, though he is completely outnumbered 3-on-1, right now ESC are doing a good job. They're bringing down what would have been quite a significant lead, but more importantly, they've took away any momentum MYM might have had.
That's definitely true. And speaking of momentum, once again, MYM getting more kills, starting to outslay their opponents, but the momentum is shifting quite frequently. It isn't always just one team like we saw in that first game where MYM just held that 2-cap pretty much all game. Bit of a different story on this map, and MYM, I don't want to say struggling, but they're not keeping hold of those 2 flags as well as they have done in that last map, for example. ESC really started to turn it up a little bit, and as I say that, MYM grab both B and C and push for the trip cap as well.
Yeah, Safe is the only man threatening a flag here. Everyone else is pretty much capped theirs and just waiting. But Delarco is doing a great job of defending that A flag. But outside of A, ESC are really struggling to project their power on this map. They do threaten C, but they never hold it for very long. They take B, but they never hold it for very long. Only A is where they've had success. And that's fine for MYM. B and C are far more important. That you can defend these flags pretty much as a wall. And A is pretty much one of these flags that spawns just drop on top of. So it's definitely not a desirable one out of the 3. And right now, MYM holding the 2 most desirable flags on the map.
See, that begs the question. Would you say Delarco's abilities are best used elsewhere on this map?
Yeah, at the same time, it's very important to hold flags like that, and you can see he keeps that roll between, so they always have a jump-off point in to see if they need it. That's an important one. But yeah, but what they're doing right now is what they need to. Small attacks, get some success, spawn more people in. They've got the capture over at C, and that could be easily more spawns. They've completely been wiped at B. But once again, the fight about C is the most important, and it keeps going MYM's way as it does yet again.
Yeah, not much ESC can really do, as Delarco's still holding that A flag. 59 tickets in favor of MYM right now. And I'm just having a look to see Waffy. He's going to be the player defending this C flag. He has 2 ESC players running towards him. Is he going to be able to pick one off? Yes, he is. Can't find the second, though. Managed to get him pretty heavily tagged, but it wasn't to be. Still, MYM with that 2 flag advantage. And is there anything realistically ESC can do now apart from damage limitation?
Yeah, it's all damage control at this point. They need to just keep the flags, keep the bleed, and chip away at what MYM have, because at this point, next round is going to be so difficult for them if it's a score.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. And
wow. Jansen just got 2 free kills come out of the B flag. No, that was 2 kills with help from Explo. And this is going to give them their opportunity to chip away here. But they're being ultra aggressive outside of A, keeping the pressure on MYM. And instead of running this A flag, they really need to play smart here. Just harass as much as possible. They've got the bleed right now, but every time they respawn in, they're going to lose a ticket, and they only have 7. But they do have the bleed, and MYM could get sloppy at the end of this round.
Well, you can see reluctancy to spawn in definitely showing there. 5 tickets remaining, 4 tickets now, as Waffy just going to add another ticket to that tally. He's also trying to cap that C flag. Nicely done. In fact, the trip cap potentially coming in to end the game from MYM and really give ESC not much choice at all. And you have to say they played it quite well, but not as strong as that first map. And I'm quite surprised, to be completely honest with you, as ESC just with that final ticket and more kills being put on the board. The only question now is, what are MYM going to end with? Should be that 34 markers. There we go. 34 ticket advantage going into the second side.
Yeah, Flax going in with 22 for 13. That's a very good score from him. Lags are doing the best he can. And ESC found their feet very much at the end of that round. Up until that point, it had been a bit back and forth at the beginning. But MYM then stamped their authority all over that match. But once again, struggled to finish it off, really.
Yeah,
they could have took a lot more tickets there. But 34 is still pretty good. And ESC, the pressure might be getting to them.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think the pressure's kind of getting to them. Both these teams have been watching everyone play all day. And I think they're thinking to themselves, we don't want to be the next team to go out.
Well, that's definitely going to be the case. No one wants to get first rounded, so to speak. And MYM sitting pretty right now. I'm not going to lie. Flax 22 and 13 in that last game. Just fantastic plays from him, and it wasn't even a defensive 22 kills. He was roaming around, picking up those vital kills, which really helped his team out. And right now, as I said, 34 ticket advantage in favor of MYM. The only question really on everyone's minds, can they close it out, or are ESC going to make a comeback?
Well, we might actually see an interesting start from both teams. I mean, the last game was completely weird start. I mean, there's a B flag over there. Yeah, you know you need 2 flags to get capped. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just like all on that one, you know?
Everybody run to A.
Yeah,
Ignore the other flags.
It's just like all on black. I mean,
do you reckon we're going to see someone go to B this time? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I think, especially from MYM's point of view. I mean, I think they'd be a bit stupid not to. But we'll have to wait and see. Like, I'm just going quickly through the weapons here for ESC, and there you go, Engineer on Explo. So look to him to crack open the C flag. And over on the MYM side, everyone pretty much running standard Scar H and maybe 1 Ace-52. But apart from that, no engineers in sight. All medics, all assaults, and that's all you're going to see. And a pretty traditional opening from MYM.
Nice to see people actually running towards that B flag. It's not going to be open for the first 30 seconds. That's always good. Explo, he's going to cap that A flag. Meanwhile, Safe, he's already capped C. So now the question, who is going to grab that B flag? Delarco, he's managed to win 1 gunfight. Can he win the second? That's going to be the question. He's being peppered from the side. He is going to get taken down. So B still neutral. And there we go, under MYM control. Yeah,
MYM could have threatened maybe the A flag, but they decided that the more important hold is the B and C, and they played a classic opening on Zaphod, especially for the US side. And all they got to deal with now is the counterattack on C.
Let's have a look. Well, someone actually on that B flag is Kazam. Just trying to cause a little bit of a ruckus, and he's done a pretty good job, to be honest. He's managed to neutralize the flag. Is going to get taken down. So I expect that to go straight back under MYM control. Punchroll, he's going to be the player to do so. So is there going to be any aggression on the C flag? You can see 3 players trying to rotate around the outside. 1 has been taken down. Meanwhile, Lagset, he's in a very nice position, and so is Delarco, actually. Let's have a look at Delarco's screen. He's on that flag, trying to capture it. There's a player directly above him. Can he pick up the kill? Yes, he can. Small work of flags there, and that flag should be neutral and under ESC control.
Yeah, and they got what they needed from that hold. MYM, they got a bit of a lead, a bit of room to play with. And now they've just got to decide where they really want to go. I think they're just going to rely on getting a few picks and then decide it from there. ESC, a CA hold is not exactly the best one to go for. they're probing around that B flag. They pulled 2 defenders from that flag already, and Jansen goes down. And but as you can see, that diversion has given enough time for Delarco and Kazam to make a feline across the open territory towards Waffy, the lone defender there. And so 1-on-1 for the B flag, but more are spawning in all the time. Waffy gets 1 kill. It's still a 1v1 on the battlefield, and Waffy gets the next one. Spawns just come in everywhere. A 1 man becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes 4. Then they die, then they get revived. It's chaos.
It really is. There's MYM also getting a pretty favourable spawn over at C. So 3 bodies over there, and they've managed to cap that flag as well. So they have the BC combination now. Question is, are ESC going to be able to do anything about it? I'm looking at Delarco once again to try and make some plays over at that C flag. He did so last time and he managed to cap it. It's going to be Ducky Chan who lies in his way. This could be a massive kill, and Ducky Chan peeks, shuts down Delarco as well. So that C flag is going to stay under MYM control.
Yeah, and it's just what they want. They want that BC, and you can see it's reflected constantly on their movements right now. They've got a player in Flax who's sitting covering B, pretty safe up there, and then you've got Safe sitting in a very safe spot in the middle of the map and just picking off those kills. As soon as they know where ESC are, they just rotate perfectly and focus on the flags that are important. Ducky Chan knows there's people coming around, and I think Waffy here might have a very interesting moment. He's stuck now between 2 attacking forces, so he might be pulled away in either direction at any point. But while this is going on, Punchroll is going to take a complete undefended flag. So if this goes wrong at all for ESC, they are going to find themselves full capped.
Well, the question is, how is the B flag going to go? You see Safe, he's there. Can he try and get that kill? It's right next to him. Is he going to be able to pick it up? He should be able to. There it is. Wasn't the prettiest of kills, but still, the kill was there nevertheless. A is being taken, but you see MYM immediately hop on that B flag as well, so it should be the BC combination for MYM and just the A flag for ESC. Looking at the kill column, 29 for MYM, 10 for ESC. Outslayed.
Yeah, it's all about the fact that MYM are defending. They've got the flags, they've got the bleed. It's ESC's job to come attack, and they are being frustrated. And right now, even though ESC have broke through and they do have the C flag, they don't have the bleed. it's all great having the most important flag on the map, but if they ain't got the other two, the bleed is against you. And in MYM's game, they're going to play musical flags right now. Every time ESC invests too much, they're just going to go for the next one and keep that bleed.
Well, just as you say that, B flag was being taken. Safe does a smart thing, drops back, tries to cap C, and B was actually defended. And for a minute there, it was looking like a trip cap could occur. But good defense from ESC, holding onto that C flag with everything they've got. They're at 63 tickets now. It was a 34-ticket game from that first side, so they are running out of time very quickly. Punchroll shuts down Kazam as well. And this is the point where ESC, if they're going to do something, they need to do it now.
Yeah, definitely. And Punchroll's bringing some massive scores along with Sofa now, 10 for 2. And he's just been a killer for so long in Battlefield. I think he was using the Scar H well before everyone else. It was either him or Ducky Chan, but I believe it was Punchroll. And this is going to be a full domination cap coming in. And MYM are absolutely looking dominant right now. And ESC are just struggling to even find a way in this dark, dark world, which is Zaphod right now.
It's yeah, it's pretty one-sided to say the least. I mean, especially when you have Punchroll 12-2, Ducky Chan 11-2, Safe 11-5. They are some serious numbers to be putting up against ESC, and they just haven't been able to reply. I mean, you look at the ESC scoreboard: 1-9, 4-9, 3-9, 5-9, 4-10. Just tells a different story completely, and you know, it's just a matter of time now. 39 tickets, waiting for 34. Obviously, that was the mark, but this game always going to MYM. And
yeah,
guess what? You got your prediction right. Whoop-de-doo. Play the happy music, well, do the happy dance.
I'm kind of more worried that ESC were going to like correct me. I mean, they were threatening that C flag, but they just got shot down. And MYM once again just looking really good.
Yep, and that is going to be mathematically impossible now. And that is going to be GG. And you have to say, MYM, well, they came, sat down, did the business. All smiles from them, all smiles from you because you were correct all day. Yay.
Close enough.
Close enough. All right, you got one map wrong. Sorry. There's still another one to go, though, so there's still hope yet. There is still hope yet. I'm wondering, have you actually entered the online, I don't want to say the betting, but the predictions online? Because you would be walking away here with like every prize.
The only one I got wrong probably would have been the Dignitas one, and that's about it.
That's true. Actually, yeah, that's true.
So see, I'm not completely...
But you didn't technically predict that. You have to say Dignitas. You have to.
I could say no.
No, you can't. They will hunt you down and they will make you pay.
Warburg would probably try and hunt me down, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not the best
I'm
thing.
I'm a northerner, I'm good at hiding. Got a wall, you know, I'll be fine.
Okay, I'll believe you just this once. But MYM looked just emphatic, and I think that's sending a message as well to everyone else, you know, sat watching, seeing MYM just outslay opponents like that, and really, you know, quite shocking. And such a big lead as well.
This is one of my teams I think is likely to get to the final and really threaten. It really comes down for me, Fnatic, MYM, UMAV and Epsilon. Those four teams, definitely. And Epsilon, obviously, they dropped out their first game against Fnatic, so tough for that, very tough for them. But if they go up against MYM, that would be a good game. That'd be a very good game.
I definitely agree. I was a bit, I don't want to say skeptical about MYM, but they have a lot of hype going around. I was wondering if they would live up to it. They did.
Was the hype coming from me?
Yes.
Am I the one-man MYM hype train here?
Yeah, you are with the choo-choo.
Yeah.
As we heard earlier on.
I had loads of people start doing it. I was just like, oh god.
We definitely, me and Kaplan, we may have done it several times.
Could I hear it from like here? I don't know. Maybe it was that loud.
Probably was. We were very loud about it. But as I said, MYM just looked so emphatic. They really did. And I think, you know, MYM Fnatic, that would be a pretty decent game. I'm not going to lie. But, I mean, who would you see, just if that was to happen, who would you see taking that? How good do you think MYM really are?
I think Fnatic would probably take that matchup.
Okay, and on that note, we'll go down to Paul with a post-match interview.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, with Ducky Chan and one member from ESC, which we'll talk to in a moment. First of all, congrats. Really well done. Straightforward for you? Easy? How would you categorize that 2-0 win?
I thought, with everyone in MeetYourMakers thought they were to perform better. I think it's maybe because they haven't been together on LAN before. That I think we overestimated them a little bit. We thought they would be a little bit better, but we take every new game as it would be the last one. So, yeah.
Okay. You've had a mixed set of results through the cups. You've had some great wins, really great wins, and then you've fallen over against teams which we would have expected you to beat. What do you put that down to? Why are you so inconsistent?
I think we underestimate people sometimes. We have a hard trouble beating Epsilon, for example, and we already thinking about playing against Epsilon before we even played our way up there. So. Yeah.
Okay. So what's different? What's going to be different here on LAN?
I think we're going to be more calm. We're going to take every game as it will be the last one.
Okay. You all look very, very happy when you finish that, and obviously winning makes you happy, but you all seem genuinely very happy to win. Is that because you looked at these guys and thought, oh, this is a slippery game, we could lose this?
It's more I just want to be, I want to try out the most fun I can get.
How far can you go in this competition?
I think we can be the finalists.
You reckon you can make the final?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, best of luck to you. You are through to the winners' final, and you've got Fnatic to play next, so easy game, right?
Yeah, gonna be excited.
Easy game. For your part, disappointing, I think. Hard to know where it went wrong, but from your point of view, do you think you can learn from that match and maybe take it back into the second game and come back stronger?
Yeah, exactly. I think we can do that. I mean, we didn't do the important frags. That's why we basically lost a couple of flags. Yeah, we need to improve. I mean, we didn't play with this kind of constellation before. Our lineup is 2 or 3 weeks. You have to pay for that, you know that, right?
They're busy breaking the studio behind us right now. You will be billed, sir. Sorry, go ahead and carry on.
Yeah, exactly. We never, as I just said, we never played with this constellation on LAN before. We had to do a lot of lineups, exchanges and that stuff. I think we could have done it better, but it just worked as it is, and we learned a lot from this match. But yeah, we will see how the second match will just go.
How did you guys feel going into this? Were you nervous at all? Because it's a different atmosphere. It's LAN. It's against a very good team who've played inconsistently, but you had a chance to beat them if the paper was to be believed. Anyway, on paper it looked like you could win this.
Yeah, I don't want to say we could have won this. I mean, we played a lot of matches against MeetYourMakers. They won a lot of against us. We also won the last EMS season cup in number 3. We won against them, but a lot of time just passed, and we needed to replace Doobie with Delacro. He's doing great, but I think the team is just a bit too young for this. I think we could do it better. We were a bit nervous, but let's see how the second match will.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about experience, right? I mean, here's a young team. You have got a new player in there. So even if you aren't going to win here, the experience is going to pay dividends, surely. And then the next time you reach a finals, it's going to be easier.
It should be. We should learn a lot from this experience. I mean, yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask you about Delacro because he is a bit of a star and he is a, good player. But how does it fit into a team? How does bringing in a guy and then maybe, Jason suggested that maybe he's like Drunks in the way that he's such a good player that you almost change the way that the team play. Is that true?
Well, of course, he just brings some new stuff, some fresh stuff into the team. Same as Doobie, both are ex-players from UMath, and we learned a lot from them. They also learned a lot from us. We tried to combine the play style, yeah, what can I say? In the match, they outfragged us. I think that was the most important. Yeah, that was the problem. I think. Yeah, on some situations, we did it quite great, like Zawad the first round, but at the end, yeah.
All right, well, best of luck in the lower bracket. You still have one more chance to stay in and a chance to go through, and it will be MYM versus Fnatic in the winners' game, which is coming next. It's our last game of the evening. Don't go too far away. There's more comedic moments from Battlefield 4 to come, and then the serious stuff starts with the pros.